Ambulance emergency. What town or suburb?
It's about 4 a.m. on the 17th of May 2023. A nurse at Yallambee Lodge Aged Care Home in Cooma, south of Canberra, has called emergency 000.
Well, we just have a very aggressive resident, and she's going into different rooms. We tried getting her out. We managed to get her out from a couple of rooms and went into the third room, which she cannot even come out.
The resident is 95-year-old Claire Nowland, a great-grandmother who had symptoms of dementia.
She's got two little knives that she picked up from the kitchen drawer and raising them against the stuff.
At 4:53 a.m, police arrive, meeting the nurse who made the call. Acting Sergeant Jessica Pank, followed by Senior Constable Christian White. They meet two paramedics already there. At 4:56 a.m, this security footage in the home captures the woman they're looking for, Claire Nowland, standing with her walker. After the group passes through the room, Claire Nowland emerges, undetected behind them, and walks into the nurse's room. The police and paramedics search in and around the building, but can't find her. Later, they're called back and find Claire Nowland. After attempts by paramedics and police to disarm Claire Nowland, Senior Constable Christian White fired his taser at her. The New South Wales Supreme Court has heard she fell back and hit her head. About a week later, she died in Cooma Hospital. Christian White pleaded not guilty to manslaughter, and for more than a week has fronted court in Sydney as Claire Nowland's family and supporters have watched on. On Monday, he took the stand to give his account of what happened. At times, Christian White looked directly at the jury, explaining how he believed Claire Nowland was an imminent threat. He gestured with his right hand a stabbing motion to demonstrate how she had lifted her arm while holding a steak knife. His actions in response, he told the court, were justified. She was definitely willing to use that knife, he said. Body cam footage played in court showed Christian White giving several warnings to Claire Nowland, including discharging what's known as a warning arc from his taser. The court heard that didn't deter Claire Nowland, who continued to walk slowly towards the doorway. The footage showed Senior Constable White then said, "Nah, bugger it," and fired his taser. Asked by the defence why he said that, he replied that communication with her had failed and the danger was increasing. "I didn't want to have to tase Claire, but I was also weighing up the safety of everyone present." The prosecution pressed Christian White about his judgment, asking several times whether he thought Claire Nowland looked frail. "Did she look like she was frail?" Brett Hatfield SC asked. "I think you're asking the proverbial piece of string question," Christian White replied. "I thought she looked quite well for someone at 95 years of age." Christian White told the court her death had weighed on him. He said he was upset and devastated by it.
Mr. White, do you stand by your actions on that night? Excuse us, guys. What would you like to say to Ms. Nowland's family?
In closing arguments on Tuesday, the security footage of Claire Nowland approaching Christian White slowly was played to the jury again. Brett Hatfield SC argued Claire Nowland was not a violent person. There's no amount of threat at all, no imminent threat at all. This was an utterly unnecessary and obviously excessive use of force on Mrs. Nowland, he told the jury. Christian White's barrister, Troy Edwards SC, asked the jury to consider the serious threat Claire Nowland posed. He was worried that somebody was going to be stabbed. He perceived a legitimate threat. Today, the jury retired to consider their verdict.
Mr. White, how are you feeling ahead of the verdict? Do you think the jury was persuaded by your evidence?
Central to their decision is whether or not they believe Christian White used reasonable force.